my name is Mackenzie, and today we'll be doing a quick lower body and core burner. So for today we don't need any equipment. If you want, you can have a yoga mat or something underneath you to cushion you because we will be on the ground a little bit today. But all of our movements are going to be body weight. And so we're going to go ahead and get started on the ground, on the mat if you have one. We're going to get started on all fours. So we want the knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders, and we're just going to do some cat-cows. So breathing in, dropping the belly, pulling the shoulders back, and then extending through the back, trying to push up through those shoulders. We're just going to go through this at your own pace for about a minute here. We're just going to try to warm up the core a little bit, and then after this, we will be getting into a Tabata to kind of warm us up a little bit more. So, all for today, we will be doing 20 seconds of work, followed by 10 seconds of rest for all of our intervals. We have a quick little warm-up, so we'll do 4 rounds of each movement, because we have 2 movements. And then for our main block today, we're going to have 3 rounds of 4 movements, again following that 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And then we have a little 2-minute finisher to take us home. So it should be nice and quick, feel the burn, and be done for the day. Another 10 seconds here, just going through. Okay, and now if you want to continue with that, or if you want to stretch anything else, grab some water, feel free to. I'm going to go through our movements for the rest of our warm-up. We just have 2 here. We have crunches and air squats. So we're going to start with crunches, which are going to be on the ground. We have 2 options here. You can either have the legs on the ground, or if you want to bring them up to 90 degrees, you're more than welcome to. I find that it's just a little bit more comfortable for me and a little less strain on the hip flexors if I keep my legs down, but you're more than welcome to bring them up. Just make sure that they stay at a 90-degree angle. But it's just going to be either hands across the chest or down by the side. We don't want them behind our head because we don't want to be pulling on our head, but we're just going to try to engage the core, lift the shoulder blades off the ground, and back down. And for our warm-up, you may want to start maybe the first few rounds just coming up, holding and dropping, not going for speed, but just trying to hold it, and then maybe the last 2 rounds, picking it up a little bit. Modification would just be not coming up as far, but ideally we want to try to get as much of the shoulder blade off the ground as we can. And then our next movement is going to be air squats. So we're going to have our feet about shoulder distance apart, toes slightly out. We're going to engage the core here as well to keep our upper body in one nice straight line. Then we're going to send the hips back and the knees out, dropping down and coming back up. So it's really important that we send those hips back so that the knees are not coming over our toes. We don't want to be coming forward and putting that kind of pressure on our knees. But modification for this, rather than coming all the way down, we'll just come down to a quarter squat. You're also, if you need to, you can use a chair and you can just squat down to the chair. So we're not sitting on the chair, we're just tapping and then coming back up. But those are our 2 movements for the warm-up. Again, we're doing 4 rounds for each movement, 20 seconds of work, followed by 10 seconds of rest. And let's go ahead and get started. So down on the ground we have crunches. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. So this just being the warm-up. We're not trying to get a workout here. We're just mostly trying to warm up these muscles so that they can do the most efficient work later on during the main body of our work. So again, maybe try just holding for a second, coming down slowly, and rest. So these are going to be very quick intervals. And air squats in 3, 2, 1. So these are very quick intervals. So during our body movement, during the main portion of our workout, we really want to try to move with intensity during those 20 seconds. So it should be kind of like an all-out sprint for that time. And rest, coming back down. And also, because we have such short rest, we need to use that to transition. So you should be moving the entire time, even if it's just transitioning. And go. And you can have the arms by the sides or up on the chest. And we're thinking of it more as we are being pulled up towards the ceiling rather than towards the wall. And rest, coming back up. And we're going again in 3, 2, 1. Air squats. Nice work. Really make sure we're sending the hips back. Really sending those knees out. We want the knees to be over our pinky toes. And rest. Coming back down for our third round. And go. It's also really important during all of our movements today that we are continuing to breathe and rest. That we're continuing to breathe. We don't want to be holding our breath today. And air squats. It helps too when you're doing air squats if you stare straight ahead to try to keep that chest up and rest. Okay, last round. Your body should be feeling a little bit warmer by now. And 3, 2, 1, go. And rest. Okay, last round of air squats. And 3, 2, 1. Another main point for today is because it is such a short amount of work, we want to try to work for the entire time that we are working. We don't want to rest in the middle of those 20 seconds. Okay, and rest. Okay, grab some water, stretch anything you need to. If you feel like you don't need this rest while I go through what our movements are going to be for today, feel free to go ahead and get in a plank. So we're going to have hands under the shoulders, trying to make a straight line from the head to the toes. You can always have the option to drop down to the knees. So if you feel like you're ready to go before I'm done explaining, feel free, go to a plank and hold there. So we have 4 movements for the main block today. It's going to be 3 rounds of 20 seconds of work, followed by 10 seconds of rest. And so we're going to alternate between lower body and core. So our first movement is going to be a wall sit. So we're going to come over to the wall. We're going to put our back against it. We want to try to get a 90-degree angle with the knees over the heels, and we're just going to hold here, making sure that we're pushing through the heels and not the toes. Modification would be coming up so we're not quite so low on the wall. That's our first movement. Second movement, dropping down, we're going to be doing painful penguins. So we're going to get into that same crunch position we were in. We're going to come up, engage the core, but now we're going to just hold here and go side to side, tapping the hands on the feet. The further away the feet are, the more you will have to use the obliques and the more challenging it will be. So options there is to bring the feet closer or move them further away. And then we're coming up because we have sumo squats. So that air squat stance we were in earlier, we're going to take, we did have our feet about shoulder distance apart this time. We're going to take it about another foot's width outside of that, making sure the toes are pointed out. And for this movement, it's very important that we're sending those knees out. We don't want our knees to fall in, but we're sending the hips back again, knees out, and then squeezing the glutes to stand. Coming down and back up. Modification, just like we do with the air squats, we would just do a quarter squat, so we wouldn't come down as low in the squat. You also have the option in this sumo squat to add calf raises, just to get a little bit more of the lower body involved. And then our last core movement, it's going to be flutter kicks. So we're going to come down. Here the importance is that we're pushing our lower back into the ground. You can have the hands out to the sides to stabilize. We're going to have legs straight out in front of us, and we're just going to go up and down. If you feel like your lower back is coming off the ground, raise your legs a little bit higher. And if you have to do this as we go, as you fatigue, that is okay. We just want to make sure that we're moving properly. Okay, but that's going to be our main body work. Again, we're doing those 4 movements 3 times through, doing 20 seconds of work, followed by 10 seconds of rest. So grab a last sip of water. We'll get going in 10 seconds. Starting with that wall sit in 3, 2, 1. And here it's one of those movements that it's very important that we keep breathing. We don't want to be holding our breath here. And again, we're pushing through the heels. We don't want our weight to be in the toes. You want to be able to wiggle the toes here. And 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to transition quickly for those painful penguins. And go. Nice work, over halfway. And 3, 2, 1. Coming up for our sumo squats. Again, taking those feet wider than our air squat. Going in 3, 2, 1. Again, the optional calf raise. Ten seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Coming down for our flutter kicks. After this, we're just starting straight at the top. And 3, 2, 1, go. Ten seconds left. And rest. Back to those wall sits for round 2. And for all of these movements, and down, feel free to go at your own pace. I just want it to be a challenging pace for you, whether that's faster than me, slower than me. It's all up to your body and how you're feeling today. 5 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1. Coming down for those painful penguins. And 3, 2, 1. So we're trying to keep our shoulder blades off the ground, really pushing that lower back into the ground. It's as if your belly button is trying to touch the ground. 3, 2, 1. Coming up. For those sumo squats, and in 3, 2, 1. Nice, we're 5 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1. Flutter kicks next. Making sure we're breathing here. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Coming up for our last round for today. And then we have our quick little 2-minute finisher. And down. Again, make sure you can wiggle the toes in this position. 3, 2, 1. Coming up. Painful penguins. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Five seconds left. Let's go. See if you can go a little bit faster. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Coming up. We have sumo squats in 5 and 3, 2, 1. Seconds left. Really making sure we're squeezing through the glutes to come up. And rest. Okay. Flutter kicks. And go. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Okay. So for our little finisher, we're going to do a 1-minute wall sit and a 1-minute plank starting in 10 seconds. So we're going right into it. And there is no break in between, so we want to make sure that we're transitioning quickly. 3 seconds. 2, 1, go. Making sure that we're breathing here. These are the last 2 minutes of work for today. So a really quick workout today, in and out, a nice burner. Nice work. Halfway, making sure that we're keeping that pressure through the heels, that we can wiggle our toes here. We're still breathing. Keeping the top upright. We have 15 seconds left here. And then we're going for a 1-minute plank. Nice, for 5 seconds. And in 3, 2, 1, transition. So coming right into it, you can either do it from the hands or from the forearms or holding here. Keeping the shoulders over the hands. We don't want to be craning our neck up or down, we just want to be staring at the ground, slightly in front of our hands. Shoulders away from the ears. Flexing through the quads, through the glutes. Halfway, making sure that we're maintaining tension through the entire body. Nice work, stay with it. This is the last 15 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, nice work today. This is a quick little burner for you. Again, my name is Mackenzie. We just did a lower body and core interval workout. Make sure you get a good stretch in, and I hope to see you again next week.